The air in the basement of the abandoned school smells like wet chalk and crumbling asbestos. Somewhere in the dark, old radiator lines are leaking, a rhythmic metal drip echoing against the concrete walls. The only light in the forgotten biology classroom is the cold, amber glow of a street lamp pushing through a cracked window pane. Lukas Novak sits cross-legged on a dusty laboratory counter, balancing a thick writing tablet on his knee. He taps a heavy metal ink pen against his chin, looking down at his captive on the linoleum floorboards below the counter. Lucas's girlfriend pulls her jacket tighter around her shoulders, her sigh sharp with exhaustion.
Lukas, it's freezing in here. Why did we have to come all the way out to this dump tonight?
Lukas doesn't look at her. His eyes are locked on the corner of the room, slouched against the wall, chained directly to a rusted, non-functioning steam heater is Captain Jake Tanner. The head of local police is unrecognizable, his uniform torn, his face bruised and swollen where Lukas beat him into compliance. Lukas sighs, shaking his head in absolute disgust. He scribbles a cold note on his pad. I am looking at the finest investigative mind this city has to offer, and I am profoundly disappointed you are inept. Captain, your entire precinct is a circus of fools. I left a trail of breadcrumbs so thick a blind child could trace them. And yet here we are. Inept? You think you're a genius because you covered your tracks? If you actually wanted us to find you, Novak, you would have left DNA, a fingerprint, anything tangibly tied to your real life. You hid like a coward. I am a perfectionist, Jake. It is a curse. Every single time I staged a scene, I struggled with the agony of giving too much away. But anyone with a basic library card, anyone who reads classic mystery books should have been able to piece the mosaic together. We sat in briefing rooms for 6 months straight, analyzing your motives. We found nothing. There was no thread tying the victims together, no pattern. They were completely random. Of course they were random. That is exactly how I kept your little task force chasing its own tail for half a year. You will never truly comprehend the profound joy I felt sitting at home watching you fail on the nightly news time after time. Then why blame us? If you went to such extreme lengths to remain an enigma, why are you sitting here whining that we didn't figure out who you were? Because I left notes! Dozens of them. Have you ever heard of the Zodiac Killer, Captain? The Zodiac left complex ciphers. You left no code to decipher. Are you entirely sure about that, Jake? Did your boys even try to read between the lines, or did they just file them away in a cardboard box? We had the highest tier code breakers in the state analyzing every single syllable of your letters. They found absolutely nothing. Well, I suppose I must admit that I am very, very good at what I do. Perhaps I gave your department too much credit. I honestly thought I was giving you a fighting chance, but I was clearly in error. Look, I'm a captive audience here. Why don't you enlighten me? What exactly did we miss? My name was printed in plain sight, Jake. In the very first letter, I certainly wasn't going to circle it with a red marker and point it out myself. You have to play the game as well. It requires 2 players. What is your name? Lukas Novak. Lukas Novak. You've got to be kidding me. Lukas Novak? We actually ran that exact name through every federal and local database we possess. We got absolutely nothing. Not a single hit, no criminal history, no driving record. We thought the name in the letter was just a random anomaly, a dead end. So you did find it fascinating, but did your brilliant psychologist actually think I would be sitting comfortably in a police database? I am many things, Captain, but stupid is not one of them. That is precisely how I managed to butcher 12 people without leaving a single trace. Oh, you left plenty of traces. The forensics lab knew exactly where you purchased the combat knives. They mapped your approximate age, your race, your height, and your weight. You got sloppy, Novak. You were caught on at least 3 traffic cameras, and you left a pair of gloves at the 3rd crime scene. Lukas pauses, his pen freezing midair over the tablet. I was actually wondering where those gloves went. Interesting. Tell me, how close were your little psychological guesses? Our profiling division had you pegged at 25 to 30 years old, male, roughly 5'6", maybe 185 pounds, with an athletic build. Athletic? Oh, how incredibly flattering. I am definitely not the type of person to frequent a gymnasium, but I suppose your boy got most of the physical layout right. Had your high-priced psychologist managed to guess my occupation? He said you were a parasite, said you sat around in a dark room playing violent video games all day long, probably didn't have a job, probably lived entirely off someone else's dime. Damn, he is good. He is very good. I haven't held a real job in 6 years, and I do absolutely love my PlayStation. The profiler said you honed your killing skills online. He is entirely correct. A lot of the digital titles I enjoy are exceptionally violent. It builds muscle memory in a way. As much as I am thoroughly enjoying this pathetic little banter, Novak, what exactly are your plans for me? That all depends entirely on how the rest of this conversation goes. To be perfectly frank, I don't feel like we've connected on a meaningful personal level tonight. Killing you at this point wouldn't really amount to much satisfaction, and dragging you out of here to save your life would amount to about the same. May I ask you one honest question before you make up your mind? Certainly. Jake, ask away. I'm an open book. Why do you do it? Is it purely for the thrill? What exactly do you get out of ending human lives? I used to get a rush. A real spike of adrenaline, but not much anymore, to be honest. The truth is, I am growing dangerously accustomed to seeing the deceased as nothing more than a mundane pile of flesh-covered bones. There's no art in it anymore. I was actually planning to give the whole thing up entirely until I ran into you. Lucky me. You said some profoundly nasty things about me on the television broadcast, Jake. You wrote some incredibly insulting descriptions in the newspaper. You made this professional game personal. I didn't give a single crap about any of the 12 people I killed before tonight, but I give a crap about you. You were mean to me, Captain, and I need you to apologize. Apologize? Were you out of your mind? If I swallow my pride and apologize to you right now, you're just gonna let me walk out of this basement? I would certainly consider it. But then again, now that you know my real face and you know my real name, that would make letting you go very, very difficult to do, wouldn't it?